Flash primed and ready into the hands of Zekken, but he's none the wiser. It's going to be just avoiding him completely and leave potential to do the damage with the backstab occurring. They're putting a squeeze now onto those players. Ramp control earned and theirs, and out of sight is next for the taking. John QT, hell of a task. He's got to anchor this one. He's going to be tested momentarily. Pushed up onto the corner. Shots are landing for him though, but his allies being whittled away in the background. The reposition around into the smoke.
30 seconds left.
So in that chaos, but G2 are very aware of it, waiting for that smoke to fade, taking a fight together, leaving it into that 2v1. Quick tap. Snake bite forces it forward. Zelsis earns himself that 1v1. It's clever positioning, but now it's about the timing. Swinging around, Jorgamo holding his ground. A tap as well, wide! And a right click to earn Sentinels that pistol.
It's individual play from SEN that gets a job.
Yeah, just going to go for it now. Going to be sending forward to that util. That's a good drone. Suppression across the board. A bit of spam into the smokes. That's just Valorant. Yeah, unlucky from the rate, but defensive, understanding that the flood could come through.
Great positioning already, though, from G2. They didn't commit too many people to the site. They realized because of the Tejo drone from Trent that it was completely empty, playing for the retake, and now they have Jonah P with Leaf ready to stop this ramp retake. SEN actually split up, trying to go from both sides at once.
Makes it awkward. This clash that's about to occur. Zekken was opening himself up wide there, but a beautiful one to win out. Clone's going to be tagging and taking a couple of the bullets here. G2 just trying to force and fight their way out of this tricky spot. They were under that pressure, as you mentioned, straight through main, but Jonah P being that backup policy, and John QT left to see what he can do. It's a 1v3 with time ticking against him. Players are offering themselves up, but at this point, a little bit too late to go for the play. Just trying to play for those exit kills. And I missed it, but he's going to be pumping in that chaos destruction, raining down from above. Meant to supplement the action, and Zelsis, he has stepped up to that challenge. Regardless, still, it's too much for him to overcome. Double faced up there by the G2 players, and side controllers garnered.
Picture perfect. Picture perfect entry from G2, though. That's how you're supposed to use the Euro ult. All the pressure's on SEN now.
Tap, looking for the second wave of things here. SEN gonna bite that bullet! And speaking of biting it down, Zekken, he's offloaded it into him, leaving it to the 1v1 though. Spike out into the open, and John QT.
Stun.
Yep. They're throwing the kitchen sink at him at this point, and he's gonna try and dominate that position once more. Steps into the pit. And it's a blight onto the map, but not for Zelsis.
It was only Jonah P that actually scaled through mid.
Losing that though, it's a bit whiffy straight through the wall. Armageddon's gonna be offloaded anyway. On top of that with a Cosmic Divide. Why not? Use everything at your disposal. G2 will gain access to the site, gain access to the plan, a renewal into the round in terms of that time.
But this is going to be a very tough post plan. You're holding on against Yoru ult, Zekken sees everybody, and John has his ult. They need to rely on Jorg finding a good timing through the pit in mid, and Zelsis has got the watch on.
Decade, it's being watched for, and Jorgamo somehow wins that fight out.
How did Jorg win that?
And with that, Thorn into their side for the TP reposition once more, but the Armageddon is a problem. TP again, step forwards, and John has dealt with him. He was a pesky problem, Jorg. One less thing to worry about still. This is where it gets tight. Thick and heavy in terms of what's being laid down onto this side. Second side step, happy feet in the process. Snap to the side. A stun connects, and Trent! Every of these teams rolling thunder this time committed over to the left side of the site. A lot of players going to be collected, stunned up in the process. Second in and through towards the back. Masterful shot, returning with the fire once more, but Narrator's dropped down to help them out. Reinforcements are arriving rapid at that. What is that from Jorgamo? Snaps to the side. Still alive. The pit causes chaos, causes confusion. Have to defuse, and it all comes down from the fight and the action. Paranoia on top of it with the orb up into their face, but that is spam into the backline, maybe just off the TP. Sound cue, something being heard off the back of it. Still
15 seconds.
They're swiveling around all over the place here, and time is running short. Shy of the mark still, wrapping around, bullets are nailing. And head's not quite popped, but players are weak enough that the slightest of breeze is going to be bringing them down to their knees. A 2v2, or back up. Popped up, and then he saw the positioning, and he saw these shots. John has just ripped it off the heads, and Zelsis alongside. So good with the reclays and the refights, and you're seeing it again, used out, primed and ready once more. It's flashes exchanged, and a quick tap to the side. Jorgamo was able to at least return that kill. Not quite a trade, but it turns it into the 4v4.
G2 still got quite a bit of space, though.
Armageddon. Cosmic Divide on top of it. It's a
Bang goes
unique
forwards.
one. Yeah, it goes forwards, and the Bang is ahead of it. Oh my, timing to be caught. You can hear it. Booms ricocheting behind him. Team's being bought and brought back into the fight and affray. Plant online for G2. No pushback, and not playing anybody on site.
They're going to wait for the Euro ultimate. Here comes Seconds retake.
Yeah, Dimensional Drift is going to give full information now for retake to occur. Spots the one. It's a Yoru player though. Jogamo has potentially evacuation, but I'm not too sure how many TPs he's actually got. Inside the smoke to play around, weaving in and out, and it's about that timing. Missed it. Narrate finds it. Salvos pushing them back and away. They've still got the pull as well to play this one to the early hours of this. Narrate sticking, half onto the defuse already. These are the Wingons board, and it is perfection in motion. Sentinels.
Anything.
Bang is so far forwards though. Smoke to play himself inside of, and TP to get away from it.
They're doing this stuff constantly. I mean, again, it's on a situation where G2 have got a weaker buy, but they're so happy to take aggressive fights and find the timings. They're playing with zero respect, and I think that's really knocking G2.
It's definite key.
30 seconds
Players,
left.
though, look their way up forwards. The gun might just give away the plot. Bang, takes the timing and takes their heads away. Spice dropped down in the middle of nowhere here. G2 don't really have a chance in hell. Jorgamo rips it from behind. That's a Dimensional Drift. Considered but not ripped off. And the rate locking it all. Trying to catch your breath. Jorgamo's all the way in with a Dimensional Drift. Then again, bang with the disrespect. Dominating the smoke positions. Out through the back as well as an Armageddon. Lay it down on top. Flash in your face. You are blinded up. And very little chance, very little opportunity for Jonah P to pave the way to victory. Salvos clearing out towards Ven. That's a fault line up on top of the angle. He's trying to play and defend his teammate. Stuns are going to be fading, but flash into the face when the clone goes down. Still off to the round. Poor. Okay, push forwards all the way. John QT, leader not just in name. He's taking space and taking fight straight to them. They are cleaning up every possible angle where a player could be hiding, tucked to the corner, leaves it down to Trent in that 1v4, and he's not anticipating the hell position. John! Drone sets it forward, an attempt to spam as well from Jonah P! He's trying to be brave, and you have to be at this point. It's 11-3, but Sentinels are the ones in full control of the situation.
A 3v4, and John just causing a bit of a, a bit of a pause in the round. Bang took pressure in mid, and there takes a fight.
Okay.
Head taken, Valen wins the smokes battle, takes out the lurker, and now they can focus heavily on A. Sen without any space at all in the map right now. So things not looking great here. But a reminder that this is also pretty much a bonus. There's only Zekken that ended up full buying into this one. I think he's fairly confident he can get his Euro online and go into the next with, what, like a Bucky or something. He'll be fine. G2 need this, and they need it cleanly, and Valen's going to have to come up with more than just the kill on Bang in mid.
One hell of a trial awaiting him, and Salva's going to make it that much more difficult. Spraying them down is the only chance he had. At least it takes one down to the grave. Heaven watchful onto the angle. Again, the util is just perfect. Buys that time and that space. Dimensional Drift is going to be committed. That's second. He's using it, getting the info. Double drop down. Backs to the possible position, but now they should know where these players might be still out in the open. It was Trent on an island, and Jorg left to do it all. 1v2! Narrate! Aftershock committed. Flank. Vital kill. Narrate drops.
Very exposed position for Narrate to be playing now. Zelsis cleared as well.
Half clearance!
Should have been.
Punishing.
Zelsis
Brought down. At the end of the day, G2 finding these players and finding a couple of heads for their troubles. Zekken, too much to overcome into that spot. To respect it. TP forward, Zekken cuts up the angles, cuts up the gap, and a perfect flash at that.
So good.
Spam gives him that timing, and Sentinels, they can feel it. It's blood in the water, and they are hunting it down. Trent, slightly ajar there. Leaf tucks himself down to hell. Wait a second. Spoke too soon, but Zekken might be able to salvage this operation. And with it, an early finish to the map. Fake TP trips him out. And that's a 13-4 start in this best-of-5 grand finals. Close. Clones will lead the charge. He's up and over as well on top of it. There's going to be Thorns. Salvo's stuns offloaded. Everything collapsing and colliding into these players. And there's a full separation onto the site. It's just Sentinels left to... Second TP'd orderly in that default spot. They're slipping his way in through the back. This is a nice play indeed. Still Drop down almost single digits, going to be regenerating back up and alive. G2 trying to opt into the retake, making sure that they hold on to control towards the back, and Art be able to put the squeeze down onto these Sentinels players, especially with Zek in this low. Flash through and around, cuts up to the corner. Narray not expecting it, still off to the side. The players are lining themselves up now, ready for the taking. It's a 2v2 at that, slipping around to the corners, 1v1. Bang versus Leaf. Sees his players, the position's noted. Bang out wide, Henter missing, rattling, the lead fired off, and it's the right click that does it. Path potentially for a win, and a threat there. Oh, and he's going for it, man. I mean, that's just a clone into the face as well. Leaf was knife out there. I think Zekin just expected that he could potentially get that timing with the Bucky, but
it's one of those awkward situations where you turn around a corner and bump into somebody and you've thrown their handbag all over the floor. Oh. He wasn't expecting to see someone.
I respect the play. I really do. At that, hold on. Jorgenmo's gone down. Where was he going? He was all the way into their spawn. 1 second, excuse me, but
yeah,
I mean, well, same for Jorg.
Yeah,
just looking I'm looking at the crosses on the map, and I'm like, wait a second.
The Yorus have swapped positions and died in enemy spawns.
I've got X-ray, and my brain's being turned into a pretzel. It's like, well, how do these players feel?
Well, we're gonna end up seeing Sentinels group up to try to make something happen on B. Thorns popped. John was loving calling these splits through B-Link before, sending 3-4 players in.
What? My
Wow,
goodness!
Completely catching Trent. Trent not normally going to go for that mid-rotate. That was dangerous.
And the deep wall as well, critically. Peace of mind in terms of no one stepping over the line, but Jonah goes up and over the top of it because time was really getting quite short. Zelta's doing his job and doing it well. Full defense across the board, making sure that every position is accounted for, and the gun's being picked up as well. Inside the smoke, there's no step. And pushes way back and away from this angle, anticipating the re-peek.
Double missed shots there from Leaf, and a really difficult shot to hit the second one.
And these players are just toppling, man. This is G2's defense getting picked to pieces. Tapestry just unraveling before our eyes, and leaves it just to the three of them. Valiant has to go re-exploring, but danger spot to do it as well.
3 G2 players whiffing on defensive lines here to open up the map completely for Sentinels.
There's no polite way to say it, but listen, maybe Trent can be that savior.
Oh, he's got it.
Collecting that, hello! Anticipating the recross as well. He's made it more winnable. It's a 2v2 now.
They saw Bang earlier on in A main, so Jonah is being very thorough with the clearance here through mid.
There's the potential for the timing as well. Go wrong for Sentinels, but Jonah P onto that angle. Bang somehow wins that fight out. Steps it up. Cosmic Divide going to be hard committed. And Trent, look at this from Sentinels, man. You're up against Stingers, and yet you're still opting in to the close quarters fight as well. Just ripping them to shreds. It's relentless. They're not stepping back. Not giving G2 even a chance for a weakness that they can potentially capitalize off, and an ace. Possibilities opened up. Second could go for it, flash into the face. They know that Leaf's up onto the site, and he's lurking, creeping, crawling behind. There's a Prowler to deal with every single angle.
They're giving it a
slowly closing in. Exactly where they are. Flash, just to make it awkward, just to make it tricky. Salvos, and again, push forwards. It's out of the frying pan into the fire. And Trent will attempt to return it. Does drop second.
Bang
Flash,
is very alone.
Quite dodge. Bang is super alone right now. Sidestep towards it. Backup arriving. G2 doing damage, weakened it up. John QT's having to sidestep this with a Hunter's Fury up in his face. Cosmic Divide. And John QT ahead of it. Thorns buying that space, buying that timing. Dart broken and dealt with. Cuts it up close here. It's going to come down to the gunfights. And the discipline of G2 needs to reign supreme. They can't take these individuality. And they do it. It's a high-low setup and swinging right through, and just not set up for that refight. Not with the wall in your face, not with the thorn. If he wins this one out, it means that A main is not going to be safe for him, and he does win it out. So bang, drop. No more smokes as well to play around, but we'll see if SEN have the protocols to try and reclear this one, but Dimensional Drift is earned up, so Jorgenmo can get out back to safety. Spots him out. 2 through main. Doesn't know where the last is, but Zelsis is a common position to play indeed. They've been watching the VODs. They're going to know he's around. Time dwindling, though. It's running short, and the longer they take, the more stall that SEN are going to be operating off of. Jorgamo, he's left with his head on a swivel. He knows that there's that potential for the reflank, but you can already hear it ticking away with the spike in hand. Gunplay in order. And shots need to be fired, bodies need to topple. G2 need to really win this one out. Defend that defuse that's really coming through, and Valin. To pit, but it pours and it pushes the players in forwards into it. That's a deep flash. Jorgamo wanted to take the fight straight to them, but players are ready for it. Even that, or the flash was just slightly off.
I think it got caught in the smoke.
Yeah, didn't quite get the value he was looking for here. Still, it's going to be darts and util ricocheting outwards. Finally dropped and dealt with. TP's on top of it. Everybody playing back and away now. SEN getting themselves into that post, and he's just using the salvos here to start. Recall. John lucky to cross and lucky to keep his life intact. There's bullets flying down on top of him. Knife, oh, not quite. That's going to be the steel guard.
That's going to help with the retake. They need the guns.
Almost certainly. Pushed back, just a pull. It's going to be minus time for them. Still, fight needs to be 1 out second. He's the one with the rifle swinging wide and around. It's quiet. All for Sentinels, and they're hoping that somebody just opens themselves up, but that's going to be the call made. Forwards pressing the advantage that potentially they've got, but it is chaos all across the site. And Jorgamo, make sure to step into that smoke.
Fight on the flank.
Yeah, and this is going to be still with 12 seconds remaining. Jonah P, he's taking out Bang.
10 seconds left.
Zelsis left in that impossible scenario. He's jumping around, he's leaping around. Util out into his hands, wins out the fight, but no time. Yeah, it's just ran short. And so 6-6.
They got red last time by Sentinels on split.
It's all about catching that player right there. So Zelsis taking out this lane position. A lot of control for G2, and the flashes are beautiful on that. They're meeting them pound for pound with these pistols in hand. Shock darts rebounding. Cacophony of Util. And John is left to pick up those pieces, see if he can forge a path to victory into this pistol, but he knows he's got a lot to do. And a lot to account for. Leaf going straight into the side as well, and Jorgamo might be looking for a cheeky kill. So John is quite aware of it, but ran down in the end.
A main though.
Yeah, they're not having control of this one. Bang still cut to the corner, and this could be the difference. The playmaker, he's got to worry about being pressured on multiple fronts, but just backs himself, and if he plays his life, the longer and the more winnable it gets for Sentinels. G2 got to be really worried about this one, just missing these timings. 2 outlaw bullets, no fruition. And getting a move on, a tap and a plan, and they're backing away straight to mid, but Bang knows all at this point.
Can Zelsis get there in time? If Zelsis runs, they'll hear him and they'll know where to anticipate him, so he's got to take the slower timing, which probably allows Valin the plant.
30 seconds left.
Zelsis going to be deading those thorns, but all deaded. G2 not giving up the sight though, everybody grouped up towards it, and that flash drops down, but G2, it's not quite made for the retake there. G2 have lane control through main, so Steel Gardener's going to be getting a ton of useful, not just information, I mean Zekin's just pushed out into the open. Perfect timing with the peek from Leaf.
They knew it left a little gap there and he covered it with the AWP. It's so good from G2.
A plant down on top of it.
Halls is about to get annihilated with Teho Util.
And here it is, salvos. You pushed G2 forwards, but they're backing away, they're saving.
They're saving! 4v5 on B, allowing G2 to get up to 11 in that spot.
Time to turn up the tempo. Jonah P, did he make a sound cue here? He has to be potentially that knife in the back, but no. Reveals it early, just gets the one before the trade comes through. Leaf watching up and over the angle. Flash is not doing too much at all. Zekin, Shorty knocks him down. 4 bullets left. Unbelievable. And it's going towards his side. Starts it down, dodges the flash. Shocks are flying forwards, but the thorn's still deaded anyway. That dart is inside the smoke. They are unaware of this, and here's that corner! And the collapse from Sentinels. Put him in the vice grip. Jorgamo left to do a lot from this spot. It's only 9 seconds remaining. The tap, but it's discipline now. In from SEN, and they realize that they've won it. That was just Bang securing the round.
There was a couple milliseconds.
Few bullets laid off, and he does have the knife full as well to try and help him out. Decay kicking in, but not enough to stop those bullets. Trent, full speed ahead. Now he's getting a move on. A quick tap, seeing if there is that response in terms of the util, and with the smokes in the face of Zekin. Can't quite make a play. Holding down some of this ground. It's critical for the SEN retake occurring here, and for G2, they're looking to take it one step further. They've lurked their way all the way through, in through the back. There's a slight gap into the window, but it's being watched for. Shorties! My God, just finding the cranium, and Jorgmo just backs himself in through main. The 2v4 in the blink of an eye with the Hunter's Fury at that. Tail end of it, getting that damage, flash through. Path and clear the way. They know the wall's not quite there. Jorgmo knives out, just trying to bait that fight out. Still Jorgmo, how is he getting the one before the trade comes through? Shorty's out, and the players are just flooded their way back in. This is desperation from Sentinels, but is it going to be enough? Not quite. G2, they even up that scoreline. It's 1-1 in the maps. And Valen just just that primed and ready. He dodges it, but here it is. Tapping to the foots, and the rifle, not quite, as the pistols in hand. Jorga's doing enough for them. Overwhelming the presence that SEN are trying to get going over towards their defense, and that is just phenomenal. Change out that util as well, and seeing G2 hoping that they can get a better side of it. Zekken, though, basically the only one playing forwards onto that. Flash, it does connect. It's good in the process, but time is ticking away, and it's running short at that. And the rate forwards and put in a bit of a pinch. The Armageddon has to be offloaded here. Means that nobody's going to be able to stick this one, but they're overlapping a lot of their util. Still ticking. Got the pull. Leaf's been knocked off the map at some point in the end. The pull is a savior at the end of the day. Drone is used to clear the way. Broken. Tied to the corner, not anticipated. John QT playing ahead of the curve when it comes to G2, seeing if they can at least make a way for it, but it's that rolling retreat that's being ordered for, and Zekken hitting. Still a lot to tangle, and still Valen with the 2, but Trent left alone now in a 1v2, and it's just not doable.
Anticipating the change from G2 and hitting B.
It's a big ult. There's no gaps at all to play within, and Valen, he was hard committed to the one side. He was just trying to bail out his teammate that was Jorgmo, but TP's backs away, and that's, oh my, it's all going apart, isn't it, for G2? Conventional Drift, the Hunter's Fury, any attempt to salvage this fight. But the tags, okay, landing in the end was Zekken cleaned up, and that's a plant. Still not committed, but Sentinels now going into the next wave of things here. Jumping down, flash forwards, but the shot's missing, going wide of the Outlaw. No damage done, no kills to be found. G2 still making this awkward, but SEN make sure they defend their IGLs back and make sure that they can't step over it still. Not accounting for that. Leaf rips it off the shoulders. A 2v3, they got to take a step, okay. The pull forced out, and Leaf left to do it all in this spot. Taps out wide, that's just the first layer of things, and now he's going to worry about the flanks, okay. There is that level of awareness, he can take a fight towards it and isolating it, but no bullets left. Gets the reload, time ticking against him, but only 18 health to work with, and there he knows it. The Conver and the rest of it. Well, oh my, he's in Astral form, they've slowed it down.
Look, he doesn't even think about it.
Already passed, but I think he spotted them anyway! It's too late. That slightest of timings, and bang left to pick up the pieces. And these players off onto the flank. The dart is going to be dealt with, and now it's Trent who's been put under a bit of a squeeze. Has to offload that util just to see if he can buy some space and time, and even with that discipline, trying to slow down the shot to the Sheriff, it's bang that still contains the pace.
Leaf's got a potential to win this one if he was in position to take any fights with the tour de force, but instead it's going to be on Jorg, I think, hitting something absurd if G2 want a chance.
Just jump peek through the wall, he needs information to what we're first off, and, well, okay. Leaf there. And the TP back behind, he's not going to anticipate this. It was all obfuscated. Wait a minute! Speak too soon. And now, hold on, he's going to be able to get half of this. The star was late to be placed. He's sticking it all the way. He's sticking it all the way. Bang thinks it's a fake tap! Bang thinks it's a fake tap!
G2 only just picking up these timings. It feels like Zekken was good. Oh, possibly for a couple. Like, what is this from G2?
As the smoke drops down so Zekken can recross, I mean, it's just instinctual.
Yeah, just reading the timing play there so well. It looked like Zekken had almost caught it.
Can't snap to the drone in time. He's going to be suppressed here, and Leaf is in a bit of a pickle. Yeah, has to respect that now, so he's going to be cleared out towards A. SEN get access to the site once more.
Narrate's doing a great job on this pinch as well. All of the mid control that they've been getting, he's been playing for Heaven control in a lot of these A splits, and it gives them much better post-plant positions.
He's going to be that real difficult player out towards the link. No command. Waves coming outwards. SEN are holding this one tooth and nail, playing ahead of the Cosmic Divide. They know they have to play up onto the side, but G2 have got all their plays towards the backside of it. John needs one and potentially even more! Calls for the collapse and calls for the help of the rest of his team to put an end to what G2 were aiming for.
Fangle, he takes contact, and Jorgmo flashes in.
Is the Armageddon going to be there in time? It's a flash as well. He wants to take that timing with plenty of shots. with just the composure, the aim not quite there. It's a stressful scenario to be placed in, that's for sure. And with it, Leaf and Jorgamo of
disaster. Absolute disaster for G2.
Got a save.
I think Sen was super ready for that. Hey.
That is funny. Familiar scenes from Leaf. This time Suppressor. That was a knife towards the back, and he is caught into the angle. It's good with the ult, but he's got so much util at the back feet and a flash into his face as well. It's purely full uncomfortability. But Leaf survives. Enough time board as well for him to just reposition with the rendezvous.
Yeah, but they've got them completely contained on B. I mean, look at these positions from Valen and from Jorg.
Yeah. No exit plan for Sentinels. You're going to have to batter your way through this one. Square up, take the fight straight to them. Everyone really quite close and personal up onto the site. No one playing off to a degree, and that's back open wide. Zelsis now going to be commented the flanks occurring, and decisions need to be made. Sentinels, they have to carve out a path. There's only 2 of them remaining. A 2v3, there's timing still. Clone, dealt with, and Leaf. By this time, wait for his team to slowly collapse onto him. He is Lodo, brings it at 2v2. It's still uncomfortable for Sentinels, but it's definitely winnable, and it comes down to that fight! Bang wins it, 1v1! Unable to capitalize, Valen!
And the site.
Trent is hyper-committed. Needs to make a play, his back just opens up wide, he somehow gets 2, and he's still alive! Alive and kicking, and ripping Sentinels to shreds! The slightest of windows, and he capitalizes, jumps on it, pounces on it almost immediately, and a refight taken out towards A main. This is rapid. Shock darts, trying to force them out wide. Jorgamo, that's a spike drop down on top of it. Bang! Needs to go for another re-swing, and he's found 2 of his own. 3 total into the round. It would have to be an ace. 2 left to stand. The smoke gonna be fading just in a moment. He hears the footsteps and knows what to expect.
They don't know he's here.
They don't know. He's crossed up onto the corner, opened up into the shoulder, and a trade.
That's a clone.
Clone gone. Okay, tripped me out for a second. All good. Zelsis ahead of the smoke, and he's trying to play ahead of that timing. Narrate from the backside as well. They're anticipating that G2 are going to go for that refight. And 1 step ahead from Sentinels. Pistol round, lying in wait for them, but not out of the danger zone just yet. So quick wrap around, a quick pivot from G2. Making their way over towards B.
Sen have needed a pistol. I mean, they're already ahead. They're 7-5 up, right? But they lost both of the pistols over towards Pearl. They were losing some like bonus round situations as well. So they'll feel like one is owed to them at this point. A 4v3, but also a spot where you don't really know where these post-plant positions are going to be. You're expecting G2 to go for some kind of play. They're down people. Leaf. He's only got a classic to be able to work with here. Burned up pretty much all of his headhunter bullets, though he has 1 left if he wants to do something stylish.
That's damage done to Zelsis.
It should be Sen's round.
Should be. Steps forward. I mean, that was the low player, not even necessary. Slightly overkill, but it turns into the 3v3 quick evacuation backing away. That's util going to be expended, and Zekken happy to peek off of it. Pushes Leaf into that unfavorable spot and position, and the shock darts flying forward. Still, they're low, and Zekken needs to hold the line, push them back. Sheriff in hand, he gets it done.
No threat of the suppression, and this was what we were talking about earlier.
What a shot!
What is that?
You're kidding me?
He's so ready for it, though. He plays in that spot himself all the time.
He just knows the crosshair placement. That's a hard shot to hit.
This
Even
one,
if you notice somebody there.
This timing might be hard to hit.
Still going for it. Wait, he's calling the players back over towards B.
He's using the trademark for info, trying to clear that spot, and Bang was in that spot just a moment ago.
And just that Jorgamo insert in through mid. Thriving in the chaos, a deep flash into the corner, Narrate has no options. What's still going to be good for it? Now a flash of his own, trying to play himself back in, but Jorgamo's way ahead of it. On top of it, flick of the wrist. I mean, what an adjustment by Leaf. They're picking center pieces with their defense.
Mid is such a gap right now, and that means that all of the rotates have to go through spawn. They're so late.
One's forced to cancel and just, whoops, get the hell out of there.
Leaf can't cross.
And still gets out with the 1.
Leaf cannot cross. How's he crossing?
Yeah, this is it. Risks need to be taken, but as a roll in front, then it's going to be knocking you sky high. Zelsis, can he still stay alive and kicking? Threading the needle. Trent just trying to get himself way into the side here. Bit of spam and an offloaded with
What's
the
going on?
I mean, Zelsis is just using that just to try and survive. Up through mid, though. That is creeping. Leaf still that Packstar play occurring. And this is the danger, as you mentioned. But there's still 27 seconds to play with Bang. Gonna be the playmaker once more. He's been doing it over and over again. Time. It's gonna be at the back of his mind, but he doesn't know where Leaf is still creeping. He can't really hard commit to these players that are working their way over towards B. Plant out towards Cliff. Deep flash, dodged. And Leaf's still there, he's holding it down, out forwards, bang, creeping closer, onto the side now, and he's applying pressure of his own. He's trying to get Sentinel straight back into this fight, but sidestepping. It's good movement from Jonah P. Caught with a reload out into the open, and Jonah P and Zelsis forced to do a lot into this spot, and the backstab finally comes through.
That round is chaos, absolute chaos. Both
really respect, I think, that they've got a variety of players just tapping away with the bullets there, crossing them up onto the angles. Leaf has been dealt with. He was cut up onto the side. There's still no plant here for G2. Time has been bought for these SEN players, and they are rapidly approaching. Hold on, there's a timing!
Oh, what a play.
Jordan was ahead of it. Drone at his feet, not worried about it. No defense inside, and with that heaven control, an extra difficulty now. Lay it down for the SEN retake, especially with the op into the hands of Zekin. He has to be a passive player. It's the rest of his team now that need to step up, and Bank does so. He's forward onto the site now. Making sure to apply that pressure evenly, but they still need to worry about this Heaven player. They might be trying to catch him here onto the timing, and yes, Narrate's caught him. Here's the danger, spamming down onto them. It's bullets raining from above. Narrate can stick this one. The smokes into their faces, and what is the next option? It's a pull. Still got half though. These players are so low. Wait a minute, wait a minute! Trent is pulling off just an absolute miracle. Despite the win con, Second has no choice just to watch from the sidelines here and try and survive away from the sphere, but just... Uh-oh, two of them stunned up. In through the smoke as well, trying to take these timings, and they're fighting ahead of it. This is a difference. Sen trying to take it, a bit of argy-bargy onto the side. Jonah P just spots the top of the cranium, but not expecting the backstab. Narrate was there, ready with open arms.
Heavy stack on B. G2 not ready for it. They were expecting, I've got to imagine, Sen to be more worried about mid, based on the conditioning prior. Sen are like, nah, we'll just fight them. Where we hear noise, we will simply fight them, and then we'll cover the lurk timing later. This should be unwinnable for G2.
With the spike drop down into the open, they've got Celsius, I believe, taking contact just with the slightest of jiggles. Sees it. And here's the... Oh, wait a second. Narrate losing that fight.
That's a whiff.
It adds difficulties.
The flank, though. The flank from John.
Yeah. He's got to be the savior for them. They can't stop the plant, but they still have a very good chance of winning this round, assuming the timing is taken. He's missed him. Missed him into the corner. Well, Armageddon's not going to give away the position. It's going to push them straight into his grass, though, and it's intelligent at that. It's the major benefit of it. Oh, and John, he's lucky to be alive there, but with it, he gets the information he was looking for. They know where Trent is. Stunned up, out into the corner. Still loses it, but it's an impossibility at this point. Cliffside plant, full stick. Full presence of side. That's a rolling thunder that will be connecting. Still survives, still stays. Tethered onto the corner. He's going to be TPing. Repositions in through the smoke as well. He's cut up the ankles. They don't know where this guy is playing from. It's a pivot. And Jorgamo's still trying to play this one forwards, but Lee finally takes that timing. Up to go straight through mid. Can't win the fight out though from those straggling players, and Sentinels have an opening. A window for them. Valorant forced to get off that plant. There's danger there with the salvos raining down from above, but John is low. Knives in the hands of Zekin. What is the play they're going to cook up in this spot? Cosmic Divide. This is going to force Sen forwards. Gives Valiant that space to reposition. Playing himself a little bit back. There's a dash forwards. It was saved just for this. One with a stun, anything to try and coordinate this attempt, and they have cleared up most of the side. They've got to know these players playing behind Pillar.
It's not a good plan.
Not really. They have to double up now and take this fight towards them, but still no kills that could be earned by G2. Despite it not being a good plan, time is ticking. It's getting away from Sentinels here. They need to force the issue. Salvos out wide, that's what they were waiting for! And it's straight out of rifle, is that time? Yes, onto the side as a Cosmic Divide to split them up, and that's why Trent is playing up and close and personal. The ball line, just a slight whiffage, but still the kills are raining down upon them. Jorgamo, he TP'd back into the spawn angle, I believe. Tried to cut it up behind them. It dealt with it, at least partially. The salvos now drop down onto the cliffside. Slide out the way! Drop down, and Trent has no choice but to just fire a last-ditch effort, anything to survive this. John's found the kill. Second under the fuse, the slightest of taps, and Jonah B is nowhere near. It's inevitable, and with him falling, Sentinels take the lead.
That's an
unaware, he's got to hear these rumble of the footsteps, and he's playing the slightest of off angles, right by the ropes as well. He has an exit strategy, but he might just want to take the fights to them. He does just that. Sentinels with a two-player disadvantage now, forced to see if they can make risks and plays of their own, but Narrate is just swept away. G2 fully up onto G2. Jorgamo will make an attempt to conquer, and speaking of that, I mean, Sentinels just overwhelmed Trent from that spot, putting him into a really uncomfortable position with him gone, they don't have to worry about the A main flank too much. And G2 don't really have the weaponry to be taking straight up duels here.
They're pushing
spawn. Yeah, risk to their own. Zelsis just layering down and raining them down with lead on top of it, man. Still from the back. Leaf, a lot to contest with there. Sound cues all around him, and so.
But on this map, they just ran a bunch of fast set plays.
Oh, the repeat, put a boom in your face just makes it a bit of a mistake there still. It's answered back. That was John QT just layering down that covering fire. And Thorns, that's a sound cue.
Yeah, that's so good.
Leaf, here's the reposition of Bang, and knows to punish. Conventional drift going to be expended though. Second, he's got to do something to try and turn the tide of this fight. Sweeping their way out through the smokes. A bit of ground's going to be gained, out through and wide. Gotta be careful. Gotta be really careful like that. Here's that all, I just talked about it. Gonna be playing a bit of a difference. Leap goes down though, that's an aftershock. Meant to deal with this one, shorty in hand, he's up on high ground. Just laying down death from above. Still, it's Sentinels that managed to regain control of the side. It comes down to the spam straight down main. These players are toppling Sentinels. It looked like they had an advantage, but just like that, turn of a dime, it's all gone the wrong way. A tap, they've earned half, but guns out wide.
Now Valorant has
Valorant's got the ult, orbital strike. Your outs are dwindling, your options are out. And what can Zekken do? Salvos to work against. The rapid spike approaching. He's forced to save it away. Anchoring hard onto the site. Not sure if they heard that one as a Rolling Thunder clears his way through. Oh my, the clone on top to try and fake and obfuscate where he could be hiding, but he cannot escape from that Jorgamo sightline. Bang! Makes an attempt of it, putting a squeeze onto the site players, but G2 are just overwhelming it, man. Holding it down, they know what to expect.
And so much good utility to stop the flood from coming through. Jorg deliberately got breach ulted there, by the way. He got catapulted in by his own breach. He's got Blast Pack and Rolling Thunder sending him in.
That's a hell of a lot of momentum.
And that's what I'm talking about. Sen, they got it.
Yeah, they're through. Already on through the choke point. It's a fault line. Armageddon, there's no chance.
You're done so.
You're done so. Straight into the open arms and the firing line the G2 were waiting for. And look at this read. It's the wall, I think, that was triggered. They got to know that there was something up on towards the flank. Something was smelling up, and it's onto Zekken. Layering down. That's suppressive fire indeed. Gets the one. Still alive. 56 health to work with. He's making his way forward. John QT stops him at the front door. Sorely needed here for Sentinels.
And Zekken relocates, takes the rope. Oh, and John is too.
He's going to point into the direction for his team to let loose, really. As you mentioned, potential there with a breach shot, but John QT has gone down. Almost found one onto Bang as well. And the ults let loose. There's 20 seconds left into this. Zeken's just trying to buy some time for the rest of his team to get in. He could be the difference maker. 13 seconds, he needs to clear this guy up. He's got one for his troubles, but it's all answered. G2, lock and key is what he got to side under. Zelsis creeping around the corners, but even the drop just being watched. Bullets are hitting, connecting, Bang, pressing the advantage is to send. They're trying to get ahead of these timings that G2 are taking. Works out in their favor, but it's going to be till used pound per pound. And Jonah P push forwards into it. To scramble, an attempt of salvage from here. G2 to get that spike back, and it's very apparent which area of the map they're trying to fight over at this point. Sentinels. Ooh, in some way or form, they have that advantage.
Flash didn't catch onto John QT somehow there.
Yeah. They got lost in the geometry of the map. Oh my god! Bullets almost landing. One's up and over. Celsius has to respect that, give up that space. Cut noise, playing it slow now.
Sen are pretty happy to just rotate to where the noise has been, though. Here's a Tejo drone to try to get a little more info.
Didn't clear the box. They're worried about Sam at the same time, and here's the salvos. Oh, no, there's no gaps to play in. Tap with the Guardians in hand. Leave it just down to Trent, though. It's a 1v2 and offline. Held to Molly. Thorns, and he knows the wall's there on top of it. Out to the way, the fuse is going to be running out. Bang just takes the timing. Pushes straight past it. The initiative seized there by Sen. Spike drop down into no man's land. Now Trent has earned himself an ult, but it's a 2v5. And with these players topple the ult, can't take that one into the next half. Sentinels done enough here. Did you order a little bit of argy-bargy? Because you might be getting it here. And now off the contact. Full line. It's a little bit delayed, and they want to take it one step further. Narrate hard committed. Flash will not save you. It's a three-piece. Ordered up nice and pretty. Jorgmo delivers it to his team.
Are they going to be able to find the timing here? Leaf tucked in, waiting for it.
What is that? He's turning to reclaim the flash. He's using it for information. He's just missed that mark.
it still should not be winnable for Sentinels because of the Spike's position down here at Dish. But in theory, if John manages to pick up Valen, it could be. Jorg's looking. They've spotted one.
There's an important fight happening over towards the A site.
Yeah.
John wins it.
If John wins it, then Jorg and Trent would have to turn around. There's still 45 seconds here, and Celsius has found that they've backed up. So he was being pressured out from taking this fight, and he's taken some space.
Oh, he's just body blocked the thorns. Jorgen was straight ahead of it.
They're about to double up. John has made the
30
wraparound,
seconds left.
and Valen's still looking for him in halls, sand.
Comes down to this fight. Doubled up. Info is going to be gathered here, and yet respect shown by G2. Peppering them with bullets straight through the Dish, but they've got the spike and they got themselves out, but there's only 17 seconds to work with. And here's the danger.
G2 have got the read.
Yeah. And planting out potentially. I'm not too sure when the salva's coming online, but Jorgen was already there. Just been using to see if they can push this one by the 6 seconds left. And yeah, when time's running that short. Coming through, drone. See what it spots off. And here's an attempt of it. Zekken steps forwards. Trendo quick on the trigger and the trade.
They got rid of Jogamo though, which means no showstopper. So that's one piece of plant denial not available. Can Sen get in? Valen under pressure.
Yeah, definitely under pressure. There's flashes all over the place, man. He's blind as a bat. He can't see anything in this spot. So I thought, what is that? Ferrari swing. But Celsius stuck himself now onto the site, and he's left with a series of unknowns just wandering around his head. Where are these players? He's tapping, hoping, praying that they open themselves up into it, making it that much more winnable. Dodges the flash, and now he knows it, at least expects it. One player, at least in domain, sees the barrel. Can't win the fight.
Flanking so early. They did this in the prayer as well.
Just, yeah, lambs to the slaughter. Steel Garden overlaid on top. Jogamo does not care. You can take away his gun, but he's still got the rockets. Still the salvos out wide here. Drifting in and out of these fights, and it's Bang who ends up dropping. 2 players left to stand here from Sen, Zekken and Celsius, trying to make sense of this chaos in the round, trying to reclaim any sort of space. Celsius slips in from under. There's the one, jiggle. And stun, oh no! Just a bullet tag slowing down the momentum. He can't evade that.
Good dodge on the flash. Step 1.
Many more to follow, but gotta focus. Maybe gather a bit of momentum, just make it that much more doable. Valen does eventually get removed away from the side here. The bullets are firing. Sentinels flooding out the feed.
They know that tree's been compromised.
It's going to be heard for. Committal, they know where the plant is as well. That nade is going to be rebounding, pushing John out into the open. And, well, okay, now a spray down, Trent! Where have you pulled that from? Just from the side, just when he thought Sen were getting comfortable into this round. It's a 1v1. Him versus the Rate. Doesn't expect to reposition. The Rate straight from behind.
Constantly active.
This is going to be cleared out. Wait a second, Sen. No, they're being squeezed! Up onto the ropes. Celsius just couldn't quite escape in time. Trying to go a little bit quirky with the movement there. Zekken's just not able to get that kill. Slightest miss with a Bucky in hand. And it's up to Bang to respond. And he does. It's 2 ripped away and Armageddon of their own, and they have that site access, turning it back into the 3v3. Slowed once more. The Rate sticking with the plant. John finds his kill and his mark. Leaf. He's cheeky with it on this map. He's often trying to take those timings, and it's unusual to catch him unaware.
They've just heard the door open, but I don't think they're going to be aware of Valen. They still think there's a chance that he's over towards spawn.
Senna not out of that danger zone just yet. And creeping forwards, he's just spotted it. Just the shoulder. Fault line, it's instantaneous. It's rapid. These players are dwindling. They are toppling G2. It's almost there. It's within their grasp. And they will have it. Not to be denied. Haven is inevitable. Find out ourselves. Shield popped. Trying to ISO these fights. Celsius gets caught onto the flank there. Stun's going to be that connection. The Rate a lot to do into this spot. Spamming away, praying, and the damage done. He was whistled down to just double digits, and it was enough at the end of the day. But Zekken has granted him at least easy access, potentially over towards C. He might have just seen it. Twists and turns, and these fights are taken. Jogamo wins it out versus Bang. Man, it's going to be committed. Stuck down by John QT, but it's him and Zekken with a lot to do.
A 2v2 fighting garage going to be set up here.
And damage done prior. I mean, Jogamo just goes down. That's a TP relocation. Pivot back and away, but John has taken that space. Didn't anticipate that there was a second player ready to face it. And now Zekken in that 1v3. Valorant's got the smoke for it. It's very difficult to play this one. Second purely just have to base it off of spam essentially, and now he can stick it. His team's applying that pressure down. Got a squeeze on them though. Do these players even know? Are they even aware? The answer is no. Leaf strikes right from behind, and Zelta's got to do a lot here. He's got to try and salvage this entire hit that's coming through over towards the A site. Zelta's can now become a bit of a problem player for them. Do they have to clear up the cam? It's a game of cat and mouse. What a plan does go down, but oh, he's looking in a different direction.
Jorgamo is also a problem player though. He was behind in A long and Sen never cleared it.
Drop down! Oh my God, what's occurring? No one's covering these fights. And the angle's there. Jorgamo's in their faces. Do they know where Bang is? Sticking, Jorg gets halved. There's a smoke to supplement it, covering it, obfuscating it. It's
over towards A lobby, so.
And up mid. Oh,
brutal.
Smoke propped up. Information gathered, and they're just not watching their backs, man. These angles are open. G2 making a mockery of it right now. We didn't know what to expect here for Haven, but the game plan has just fallen to pieces for Sen.
They're leaving so many gaps, and G2 are finding them. I think Zelsa's got to be more defensive in his Cypher play rather than trying to find the lurk timings. He needs to stop G2.
Jonah P.
30 seconds left.
Tucked up tight, reinforcements arriving. Spot the back, there's a swing. Bang's lucky.
Here's Zelsis trying to find that lurk timing though.
There's 20 seconds left. G2 no. Garage control. Okay, whipping a rifle back around again. Zelsis did get the one kill, but there's only 13 seconds left. They don't have main control.
10 seconds
I
left.
mean, Leaf has got this. Bang in the smoke.
Trying to go for it, a bit of spam. Oh, it's revealed his hand. Definitely has, but it's uncomfortable for Sentinels. They know that they have to fight for control of at least one of these areas of the map, and bullets are flying forwards. It doesn't matter. The player advances at G. He's hoping that they get pushed back into him. Cracking shot by Narrate.
That gives him the ult as well.
With that, maybe you can snowball it into your advantage, but Sen are taking it slow and steady once more.
The drone doesn't clear enough. The idea there is that the drone is supposed to see whether they're playing retake. If they are playing retake, you take the site. If not, you catch him in the ISO.
Great hit. Oh, Jonah P's been out in the open there. He thought that he had the timing. This dimensional drift might not even be necessary, but he is going to spot out these players. And hello, combo it up. Yep, take it into the gulag. Good luck winning it. And Trent somehow manages it. There's a shield to contest with. Still there, gets what?
Whoa, what are we going for here?
Off the rips, flashes in their faces, salvos and Armageddon! Narrate stems the bleeding and takes the bite out of that play. Jorgamo's still going to be taking the space off the back of that, but forced to respect it with a TP of his own. They're trying to squeeze these players.
Yeah, it's a set play that we've seen some other teams go for, actually, but... Oh! Leaf holds on!
Overzealous! Leaf's grabbed two! Trent through the back to Razorvine and Hunter's Fury. He's going to be whipping his way around with just a one tag. Not enough to get the damage done. Not enough for the kill that they're looking for. Still a 2v3.
Jorgamo's coming around the flank. No, he's not.
Takes it for the TP. I mean, this is just going to be... Again, that chaos sewn into the mix, into the round itself. There's two players on Sentinels. They're looking to see if they can carve an opening.
Trent just got salvos back. They're trying to bait them out. Trying to bait out a peek.
Fighting for a link control as two players to meet them. Spots the shoulder. It's going to be a clone into your face. Could be blinding you potentially, but he turns it still. Flashed up. And they're just wandering, waiting out. Into the open backside. 5-1. Now they're looking to make their way over towards A. They're ready to take a peek. It's a double player held down. I mean, they were watching for it. They hear the sound cue from the shield. He only gets the one. And every smoke, every option is watched for. Right now, Sen are just throwing anything at the wall, seeing what sticks with these lurk plays. TP committed. Leaf is wondering whereabouts these players could be. Rolling Thunder gives him the time for the drop down. Flash on top of it. Hell player, Bang needed to win that fight out, and he still needs to hold it down even further. It's just one man. No, what can he do? Dodge at a flash. Quick turn to the side. Plant's still not down for them. He's going to be stuck, committed. Cosmic Divido forces them forwards into the fight and into the fray. And G2 are now aware of it. They know the possible positions. The IGL has you in his sights. On top of the bricks, that's a ult narrowly avoided.
He got the clone, did he?
Sucking onto a couple of these players. Yeah, is that a clone play? Absurd reactions from Jordan. We're just anticipating it, but a clone in your face doesn't matter. No, he can't go and get out. It's traded in time. Bang at least gives them that. And a player advantage on top of it, but they haven't cleared. Valin backs to him! And quick reactions from Zelsis. Make sure to watch that angle, but damage done to Bang. Wrapping around by Leaf. It's all about this timing, and they are doubled up towards short. Doubled up and he's, the player weak. Does he anticipate? The Celsius has cut it up into the corner. It's all about this time in the fight to be taken.
It's a weird way of using the ice, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to force that re-clear, which Leaf apparently not favored for. Valin, it's impeccable with the timing. I mean, now he's just not worried about it. He's trying to back himself out of the fight. Clone was used in mid, just pulls back that wall as well on top of it, but a salve is going to be used as that response, and Jorgamo ready to lock it down. He's got teammates at his back, and he's taking a fight straight to them, flashes in their face, stuns the supplement, slow down the pace. The drone now has to be offloaded. Sen looking to get themselves in. It's a half clearance. It's a half clearance! Trent, he's just decimated. Armageddon is going to be layered down onto these players as well, and it's created that window in the pocket. Still Zekken from behind, and he does wrangle his rifle just in time. It's two dropped. Zekken needed that. Needed to show himself up here still. He's stunned. Go to the corner and unaware of where Jonah P could be coming from. Wait a second, it's a 1v2. Drone not being used. Flash up and over towards the top, but tagged up. Jonah P forced to respect it. Cannot give these G2 players ins, and you can feel it now. Sen realize it. Offload and Vorda util, double tap. It's a good play, G2 now. Start swarming, getting into position for this one. Forwards, double taking, just trying to get ahead of the curve as well as his setup occurs. Blind as anything, Valin. He's just running rings around him, but Zekken left to try and control the situation. The shoulder peeking out. Shots fired off as well. Calls made for G2. They want to try and take this full focus in towards the back of the site. They're right to cracking one to try and open it up, and the issue forced. Jorgamo pressing forwards, but still these players, these bodies, as much as the advantage was found, it suddenly just turned all the way right around. G2, how are you managing this? It was all, I mean, it was looking so...
Trying to deny the ult orb.
From clears. But he missed his way around. I mean, he just committed the aftershock anyway. Doesn't matter that they missed him. This is C control and a TP deep up onto the side. Bang. Just trying to layer it down as well. A bit of recovery and fire is in order and necessary. And the rate has got to do it all. Quick dismiss, a quick flick of the wrist just to try and dodge these dashes. And the flash is coming his way. 2 versus 3 though. Plant going down. No problems there. And G2 getting ever closer. Flowing forwards, facing away. John QT. It's a lovely time to make a play, but he's going to need a little bit more. Dart revealing, bit of spam potential, but still they're going to try and take this one together. And the jumping right clicks. Up. Shield popped. Paints the picture. It's obvious right now for G2, but despite how obvious it is, you have to hit back and you have to fight back. Sentinels not willing to go down without a fight, not just yet. To escape from this one without giving away too many more kills because they have that player advantage.
Cautious and respectful from G2, just trying to control the aggression from Sen. Didn't want to take too many unnecessary risks, but now they're going to have to do something. Down 3v4, using that to break the trip.
The drone partially avoided still. It's good, John just playing back now, and the plan is retake over towards A. He's got the kill, he's played his life.
Individually.
No reason to overcomplicate it.
Individually, these initiator players on both teams are playing really well. Trent now, Armageddon online. I don't see how they could get this done. Should be Sentinels getting up to 5, especially because they're going to have full info on where these post-plant players are.
Did Zekken miss the clearance? I'm not too sure. There's a dart. Rebounding round the back and spam into the smoke. They got to know and expect it, yeah. So, conventional drip. Hands in the right with a shield. Can't overstep himself here. He goes into the Fawns, he loses it anyway, but the duration just running out. It's a nice little util combo still. They're not out of danger just yet. G2 have control of this one. It's a lot of util expended at that. Paranoia sweeps its way through. No play to take space though, not from Sen. I believe they're going to get stalled out, and they are. Slowed down, re-clearance out into garage. Might just come down to these fights that are taken. Dart rebound. Zekken was almost alone when he's taking that one. And these players are falling. Sen to do a lot here. Clearing the way forwards. Jorgamo is low. The dash, or at least the flash, is going to be broken here. Cut it up. Leaf cannot do it here. Leaving it down to Jorgamo. TP up on above. Jorgamo hears it. He expects it. But then a steel garden on top of it. Cut to the corner. Zekken. Zekken! Like a thief in the night. Inside the cage. He turned himself and his team an opening pick. Bang! Within that chaos, this man, of course, is going to be thriving. The windows of opportunities that are being created by his teammates. And they're ready to run this one all the way to another round win. Two left to stand from G2. How often have these players been in this spot? Valen and Jonah P. The rate's gone. There's a dimensional drift now to set the pace and change the tide of the fight potentially, but Jonah P's in himself. That roll in thunder. Inside, through short. Down to the 1v1. Valen, he's low enough. Tiniest of margins is what this lies on. Could it be 12 or could it be Sentinels? In control of once again another round. John QT, there's no tap, there's no hiding it. It's half earned. He wants to stick it! For all lies on this. The retake coming through. Celsius watching for the flank. Leaf has been down and out. And the feed is filling up with blue. Jorgamo locking it down, crash up to the corner. And this is a rapid approach indeed. Sentinels.
In round 23, see if you can lock things up. But for Sentinels, they've got to be perfect, and that just isn't.
It's a missed opportunity at that. Bit of spam coming through onto either side of this one. The shield is immediately gone. Okay, you're pulled into my world now, and Array wants to take this fight straight to them. Okay, rewarded. Shield online. Waits until the final moment. It's an aftershock as they were trying to predict that location. Array is the one to salvage the operation. Could have been Diane, could have gone wrong. But ultimately, it's Sentinel. Gliding straight past him. Senna grouping up. They're ready and waiting for this one. Valen with the plant, sticking. They're going to push it back. The Hunter's Fury is delayed.
It's
delayed.
Jorgamo!
He's into back lines! Jorgamo! He's tearing him a new one. And now Sentinels left to do it, just 3 left standing. A player disadvantage. Here's the retake coming through. The blinds are good, but the kills need to be better. And G2 will not be denied. It's a death knell tolls. And for Sentinels themselves, it all lands on their shoulders, a bang. One to be fine, but 2 more left standing. G2. Not ready yet. They've been tested, they've been pushed. But a util just makes it almost impossible. TP forwards, 11 HP to his name. Jubilation for G2. The victory that eluded them. A title gained and garnered. Finally, they get their win in our grand finals of America's Kickoff.